It is beyond frightening to realize that the people that you call friends, the people that you have around you, are your biggest operatives. They're your biggest CIA double agents, and they are actually consciously and unconsciously working against you, and you call these people friends. Especially for nice girls, we have a special attraction to haters, and we call them friends. A unique attraction to haters. And there's definitely different types of haters, but many a times women are very good at becoming or presenting in female friendships, presenting as covert haters, very unknown, small jobs, and you start questioning your reality. They're not gaslighting you because you heard what you heard, but you start questioning, is it directed towards me? Did they really say it with their full chest? What did that have to do with the conversation, right? And when you are someone who says the real thing, when you are someone who speaks what everyone else is thinking, and you stop being the nice girl, you just start being the girl, you don't have people who support you. You have people who surround themselves to attach to you and make it seem as if they like you, make it seem as if they support you, but really and truly, they're just hoping that you don't surpass them. They're hoping that you don't actually have it as good as they do, because they have created their own self-ceiling, and you, whenever you actually put your head down and work towards your goals and you surprise them, they're shocked. They're second guessing you. They're surprised that you even did it. Not because that you did it. They're surprised that they didn't do it, or they never allowed themselves to do it, or that was never an option given to them by life. When you have a unique attraction to haters, you have to understand that you have a smaller finite degree in which you can't live out your purpose. The road to your purpose, the road to your manifestation, the road to your life, accept that now, very lonely, full of dangerous holes and dark clouds. The path to your manifestation, scary. Not just for you, but for everyone else who even comes in contact with you. You have to become very, very cutthroat, very clear, and very, very certain in this life. The revelations that you will receive on a daily, if not multiple time basis, will probably make you vomit, because you will begin to look at your people, your family, your friends, and realize that actually my biggest supporters are also my biggest chains. The people who support me the most are my biggest chains. And they themselves may not consciously recognize that, but you now know through behaviors, through actions, through words, through indirect, from subliminals. You now know, oh, that's what you really feel. Cool. And now that you have that inner knowledge, that new perspective, you realize that you have to be more direct. No more conservative speaking and liberally smiling to everyone to be nice. No. They want you as you are. And as you are is not what you want to be. You're the person who doesn't really make it. You're the one who supports everyone. You're the one that smiles and, asks difficult questions that people don't really want to answer, but what do you know, right? You're not in their lives. You haven't attained what they obtained. But you know what you do have and what you need to have. Standards, boundaries, focus, execution, discipline, and devotion. Stop allowing yourself to be warped into the falsehood of friends. Oh, I support you. But the support is questioning. The support is second guessing. The support is very quiet. And furthermore, when they support, or when you see friends support other people who are receiving bare minimum, other people who are not as emboldened or confident, other people who are okay with, 30, 20% as their full amount. But you who wants it all, they laugh, they chuckle, they throw it aside. Because one, they deeply know that you actually can do it. They know it more than you do. But they don't want you to do it because that would make them question why they're receiving 30, 20% and you're asking for 150. Why you're asking for the world and they're asking for a little slice of an acre. Why you are gaslighting yourself every single day that your desires are way too impractical, way too outlandish, way too crazy. They know more than you do that your desires are within your reach, if not already in your grasp. They don't want you to have it because it will make them also feel insecure about what they have allowed themselves to desire and decide upon. They've created a ceiling for themselves and become settled in contentment. And when they see you not doing the same, you still having that hunger, that drive, it speaks to them pushing down their own hunger and drive, their own reality. What they have been allowing themselves to call forth or not call forth because of what they think they ought to deserve. You only deserve what you think you are owed. You only deserve what you think you are deserving of. If you think you're deserving of someone who's in and out of your life, your home environment's okay, but you got some things together, your money's okay, but it could be better. That's what you have. And that will always be your upper limit. If you think you deserve the high, luxurious, filthy rich, wealth, generational builder lifestyle, that's what you will have. Your thoughts are not as important as your emotions attached to them. The reason why your thoughts trigger the mess out of you is because the emotion behind it is what you need to process. You ruminating, you reviewing these ideas, these thoughts that keep reoccurring, they need to actually be snuffed out all the time. You doubt yourself. You doubt your vision. You doubt your desires. You doubt your goal. You doubt your reality. You doubt what is for you and what isn't for you. You doubt yourself. You're your biggest doubter. And just by default, that makes you your own biggest hater. Your friends are just doing what you can't do. They're just hating you and doubting you out loud. You doubt yourself. You doubt what you know in your heart you want. So you are over here toggling between, should I be nice? Should I settle? Should I be content? Versus, can I be grateful for what I have and still want more? Can I reach for the stars and actually get the moon and the universe included? Can I see the wholeness and the deep potential in everyone, and also know that because other people don't see the potential in themselves, they self-sabotage, as I'm doing right now? Can you see gray? Can you have nuance? Or do you just accept whatever other people tell you about yourself and say, yeah, that's my reality? Your current reality is trying to snuff you out. Your current reality is trying to mess you up. Your current reality is trying to kill you. Wake up. Wake up. Your friends are just mirrors of yourself. Take it a step further. Your friends are your biggest hater because you are your biggest hater, because you don't believe that you are deserving of it. They're just reflecting back what you already think. You don't think there's a person for you who can love you proudly and deeply in a way that you read other books or romance novels and you read how people love each other. You don't think that's real. You think that's only for the books. You don't think that you can work at a position or have a career or in a business that lights you up and breaks any belief that you have around scheduling and tiredness and what you have to do. Running on God's source energy is what you deeply desire, and you see a few people do it and it lights you up inside. It makes you so happy. You don't think that you actually are strong enough for your greatest fears. The scary things. You're not actually afraid of losing. You're not afraid of losing. You're afraid of winning. Because winning is actually the biggest loss. Winning is hyper-focus, hyper-fixation, deep devotion on that thing, or all else fails. And what is the all else? The mediocre life you are living right now. The mediocre reality that you are choosing to settle in and making yourself feel contentment. You're not grateful. You're not practicing gratitude. You're practicing contentment. Not knowing that will lead to deep resentment and failure. You want to be okay in 5, 10, 15 years from now, sitting in a room full of your friends who are unhappy. We've normalized unhappy women to women relationships. We come together to bitch and moan and complain. We're okay with that. We've normalized that at all stages of life. With a few friendships that you have, the glimpses of a friendship that you've probably noticed from afar, that they don't do that they're all actually living their best life and they actually want more. Whew. That's a different mental shift. I recently was in a 3-month coaching container with brilliant women. This is the first time I've ever seen graceful accountability, but true honesty in a group of women. Not the blowing smoke up your ass to make you feel good type of thing, like deep questioning, deep like vulnerability to allow others to look at you and not just point out flaws. No, you don't have a kink shame. You are doing it because you feel safe to. You feel safe to show yourself and be present and allow someone to look you in the eye and say, you've come so far and what you want is within grasp. And these are the things that I see within you, just in your speech, just in your demeanor, just in your tone, that I feel like are holding you back. And you receive that message with deep openness. Having experienced that, having seen that, not only in a coaching container, but in actual relationships with women in my life, real relationships with women, it is scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's scary when you have only received half, oh, congratulations, da 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 da, you're doing so great, knowing damn well you didn't do that all great, right? You're blowing smoke up each other's butts. You're half-assing it. Like, having been in either one of those extremes of half-butt relationships where we just say okay to whoever and we subject ourselves to whoever wants to be in charge, and when your friend is actually making a dumb, stupid decision in your book, you're too afraid of even just questioning it out loud or saying truthfully to your friend, hey friend, I think that's stupid. And this is why I think it's stupid. Not because I don't like your decision. I think it's stupid because I think you should want more. And having your friend receive that and say, oh, wow, I see what you're coming from, or I see that perspective. Thank you. I actually feel very happy with what I have. Okay, cool. And it's not this defensive back and forth of being avoidant. Not wanting someone to see your own vulnerability and question you. Because when you seek out honesty, truth will always follow. But the biggest lie is that most women are truthful. Most women objectively cannot be truthful. Objectively. It's hard for women to be truthful. Just with our historical nature and our evolutionary nature as a society, women objectively cannot hold truth for too long. Because the person who's truthful, the person who's quote unquote blunt, right? The truth sayer is easily pushed aside, easily pushed from the group. You being a truth sayer makes you a target in your friend group. People don't want truth. People don't want truth. People want smoke up their butts because they already know the truth. And the truth is universal. The truth doesn't change no matter who said it. Whoever is the messenger, good or bad, the truth remains. What's honest is that you don't want to listen to the truth. That is what is personal. The truth is objective. The truth doesn't change for you or for me. It's the truth. But I honestly sometimes don't want to listen to the truth. I don't want to see the truth. The truth is sitting there, right there in my face for months and months, if not years and years. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be around it. That's honest. But when you decide to be a truth sayer, someone who can look at the abyss of truth, at the light of truth, at the abundance of truth, at the root of truth, and take on the effects of that, good, bad, or ugly, that is the truth, you just crack the code to fear. How do you release fear? By allowing truth to be your reality. by allowing truth to have the biggest say-so in your life. Fuck your honesty. Fuck your opinion. What is the truth? That is how you crack fear. But since that is such a painful process, it's not something that everyone wants to do or should do. But if you've been receiving the same truth over and over and over and over and over again, and you refuse to look at it because you're allowing fearful doubt to control you, it's going to insidiously show up in everyone you know. Everyone else will be your biggest doubter. Everyone else will be your biggest hater. You think that everyone is praying for your downfall. You are preying on your own downfall just by simply not looking up at what's in front of you. And that's truth. You know your role. You know your mission. And you don't want to do it. That's the truth. And that is a reality that you are currently living in. And that's why it's so painful. You're living in a reality where you deny truth from even existing because it hurts. Because when you look at truth in the face and you read what it has for you, you realize that all this other bullshit that you have around is so fucking irrelevant. So fucking irrelevant. You can't even play the game. You can't keep blowing smoke up people's butts. You can't interact and banter with certain people anymore just for giggles and no, you just say the truth. You're too harsh around the edges. You've seen too much. And that's what most nice girls are. Truth sayers in disguise. Truth deniers. You don't want to hear the truth. Fuck that. You want to placate to those around you, to assimilate to society, knowing good and goddamn well that's not your fucking mission. That's not your role. It's not your role. So why are you doing it? We are all meant to look at our own truths. When we deny our soul the capacity of being truthful, of being its full self, we add layers and layers of our character that were objectively never there when we were born, but we borrow, steal, and scheme and cheat to put on a face. If that be a clown face, but put on a face, put on a facade, put on a charade, put on a show so that we can deny ourselves the truth. But we feel it poking and prodding in the side of our neck, in our back, in our foot every time we take a step. And then we also do this thing where we play confused. That's the biggest telltale sign of you already knew the truth. You play confused. You act like you don't know what you're doing. Directionless. Oh, I'm not sure. Get out of here. I'm genuinely confused. What? Intuition. Divinely programmed in you, and you're telling everyone in the world you're confused. You're unsure. That's impossible. That is impossible. Intuition, divine intuition, programmed into you from just the thought of God creating you. You have had intuition, and then you sit up here and say you're confused about what to do, where to go, who to be with, who not to be with, how to deliberate, how to what? You're just a truth denier. You're a truth denier. And you have erected friendships, you've coddled friendships, you've co-created dysfunctional friendships with women who coddle and retain your confusion for you, who help you with the charade, help you with the facade of, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't see, I'm so confused. You have created this reality, and that's why it sucks. Because when the charade, when the mirrors, when the friendships, when the people, when the family is louder and more agitated with you now wanting to seek out the truth, you take a step back and you're like, these people don't like me. No shit. No fucking shit. These people don't like you. You don't like yourself. Accept truth and all of your doubts, all of your fears, all of your worries, all the instances where you're uncertain, go away. Because the truth, your truths, are always available to you.